Good morning, evening, afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark,
And I'm Zook.
and we are the Board Adventurers, back to you with another late to the game. Today we got a fun little one for you. We're gonna play Clash of Corgis, designed by Derek Drozic. I apologize if I got that name wrong. Who also self-published this game and sent us a review copy for us to review today. So today we're going to talk to you about two of the different ways of playing this game. There's one original way. There is the Capture the Illusionist, which is one of the expansion types. And then there's another one called Treasure Island, which we unfortunately didn't get to play. We only played the first two. So in the original version of this game, you're going to take the deck of cards and you're going to deal out 12 cards to each player. Each of these cards has a little corgi on them in a different sort of, form. So there's kind of like an elemental kind of feel to this. So you have fire, grass, I believe like purple's like a mystic, yellow's like kind of like a warrior class, and green's like a earth type of thing. So the suits, there's 5 different suits, 5 different colors. They go from 1 to 9 and an ace. There's a star also for each one of those, and those count as a wild. So when you deal out the cards, there's going to be 12 cards in your hand. The person that's going to start is now going to play a combo, which is an idea of this game, a corgi combo. You can play one card or multiples of the same card. So they have to be of the same number. But they can be, additional suits all the way up to 5. So you can play, 1, a pair, a set of 3, 4 of a kind, or 5 of a kind. And then once you've played it, you're going to play out the number. There's a certain effect. And there's a lot of effects that are here that I don't want to muddy up with this game. You'll have to reference the game that you're playing along with the player aid that's provided for you for that. So you're going to keep playing. So the next person is going to have to beat whatever it is. So if I played 2 1s, the next person in line has to play the same type of combo, meaning that they need to play the same number of cards, but a higher pair that beats it. One thing to note is that the 4 is one thing that shakes up this game a little bit. Is that if someone were to play a 4, that number lets you pick either higher or lower for the next person in line. Then that person has to, pick that combo, and they have to go that direction. Okay. So you're going to keep playing rounds until someone passes. So if everyone passes and you're the last person, you'll win that round, and then you'll get to start the next combo, which then you can play any number of cards from your hand as long as they're the same number. So again, same number. And you're forcing everyone to play that same number. You'll keep playing until one person has gotten rid of all their cards. That person is the winner of the game. That is the original way of how you'll play Castle Combo. The other variant that we had is we played the Capture the Illusionist version. And we figured we'd try like some of the other variants too. For Capture the Illusionist, you're gonna take one color set. So you're gonna take all the colors of all the numbers of one color, including the wild, and you're gonna shuffle the deck. You're gonna play 4 cards face up for your top row and 4 cards face down for your bottom row, set up in like a rectangle. 3 of those cards are then gonna go into your hand. You're going to play cards again. So the player aid, the one that we have, has actually the other rules for the Capture the Illusionist on the back of the card too. So the suits have numbers, but they unfortunately don't have specific symbolism for it. You'll have to reference your player aid for the number and coordinate it with the card play. So on your turn in this Capture the Illusionist, you're trying to capture the wild card of your opponent. So what you're going to do is you're going to play a card either from your hand or from somewhere out on the field. Before you play a card, you get to look at one of your face down cards of the 8 on the field and see what it is. You can then play that card. You could play one of the face down cards by random, or you can play one of the 3 cards that are in your hand that your opponent doesn't know about. You activate the effect and then resolve it, either flipping one of your opponent's cards, showing one of the cards from their hand, shuffling your cards back into the illusionist space, and so forth. What you're trying to do is find the wild. So when you found your opponent's wild, whether this, revealing it from their hand or revealing it from the field, they can choose to protect it by discarding their ace. So the ace functions as a protector, but if you haven't revealed your ace or you don't know where it is, you have the chance to find it one time. If you don't find it, then your illusionist has been found and you would lose the game. Oh no, you wouldn't lose the game. You're trying to find your illusionist twice. So that you're going to shuffle all the cards back together and form another 4x4 with another 3 in your hand, and you're going to try to hide your illusionist one more time. One last thing you can do in this game is you can activate the effects. So when you have an area at your back row that has cards, assuming, say, you have the set 3, 6, and 7 here. Assuming these are all the same color, you can then play one card and by tapping it. If there are any tap cards still in your area from a previous round, at the end of your turn, you can untap them. On the next turn, you can then re-tap your card back, and then you can activate any of the other ones. There are cards that let you activate multiple effects, and then you can just activate them as it is. You'll win by finding your your opponent's illusionists twice, and then that is how you play Clash of Corgis, Capture the Illusionist. What do you think?
Yeah, so for Clash of Corgis, I want to start with kind of the pros what I do like about the game. I do like that it's a card game with multiple ways of playing it. I think that's pretty novel, and I do like that aspect of it. I think these corgis are adorable. The art is very endearing in that way. And in terms of like who it's for me, this is strictly for gamers who want to introduce the young kids to card games. I think the art style leans that way, and the rule set sort of leans that way. My con for this is that the rule set is way too complicated for what it is. Not specifically what you're doing, but the effects of the cards. You have a player aid here, which I'll show right here, and it's a very, very wordy player aid for a very, very simple game. And then when you get down to what you're actually doing, those actions are pretty simple. Like if you're looking at the Capture Illusionist and you're looking at one of the powers or effects, it's a simple turn over one card, but it's a couple sentences on the player aid for that one effect. I think based off of who I think the target audience for that game, this should be a little bit simplified. Could be simplified with iconography on the cards itself. That would definitely help for this. But I think it works enough. Like once you can simplify the rules for yourself, you can teach this to young kids as an introduction to card games.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I kind of mirror you with my comments similar. But maybe like towards the end, like the end of your comment, like I'm not entirely sure who this is for, because like I could understand like this is kind of leaning towards the maybe like the more child friendly. Like I do like the art on these, but then you get to the player aid, and the player aid is just very, very wordy. I really like my biggest thing is with what you said is I wish they could create iconography to simplify all of this onto the card. If you could put that right onto the card, like I get why they put it onto a player aid because there are multiple versions of how you would play this game, but I feel like then like there should be just iconography that simplifies it. And I don't know really how to do that in like a way that doesn't make it, adjustable game to game. Maybe this could have been separated out into a couple separate games too.
Yeah, I do want to know, as we go on, there is a second edition of this game coming out, and we are reviewing the first edition.
Yes.
So
yes.
there's a possibility a lot of the things that we're saying is corrected or are implemented in the second edition.
Yes.
I do think there is space on these cards for iconography, whether it be at the bottom or next to the suit. Like there's a paw right under the suit value. You don't need that. You could use that space for iconography.
Yeah.
And still keep different games per, for the card sets as well. But really, that's the biggest con for this, because I really do think this is a game for kids, families specifically, and this player aid doesn't help in that cause.
Yeah. For me though, I would say if you get this game and the Capture the Illusionist is part of that first edition that you have, that would be the one I would recommend to play.
The Capture Illusion is the best
the original is a little too complicated and too short for what it is, in my opinion. I think just getting rid of all your cards and having just effects where you can just keep, spamming out cards.
Yeah.
It's like, it kind of starts to lose it kind of blends in with a lot of other, simple mechanic card games out there. Capture the Illusionist actually, makes it feel like, I'm like a magician. I'm trying to, slightly hide my wild cards somewhere in.
Yeah.
I wish there was another card in that Illusionist that lets you shift cards back into your field. Because I think the only card that was in there was the 3. The 3 is the only one that lets you take a card from your play area and then shuffle it with 2 other face down cards.
Yeah.
It's not quick enough that I can hide it, but I understand why it's there, because like the length would get too long.
Yeah.
But that'd be my recommendation, is play it with the Capture the Illusionist, and you can skip the base original version.
And I think the Capture Illusionist is the one I think of when I think best with kids.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're almost like hiding, like a hide and seek type of thing.
100%. It's a first deduction type of game.
Yeah.
It works that way. I wish the player aid would be better, but I think this really works for kids.
Okay.
But in terms of a buy, play, skip, where does this rank for you?
Yeah. So right now, based on this game, I would still put it play, but I would be on that line of play and pass, to be honest. You got to see if this is like the type of game that either you, your friends, or your kids would like. But I feel like the issues I'm going to have is that a child's not going to want to read this player aid long sentences, so you are going to have to read it to them.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to explain it to them.
Yeah, have to hold their hand through it.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that the second edition actually maybe simplifies the effects, simplifies the wording at least. But right now, like, I would still say, like, I wouldn't give it a pass. I'd still just say play it. But for me, it was an okay game.
Yeah, for me, I'm the same. I'm a play leaning towards skip. Like the Capture Illusionist is the best part of the game. That's the one that's really worth playing. I think that can work with kids. Unfortunately, you can't give them the player aid. You would have to know the game in and out and explain it to them without even giving them the player aid, and kind of like walk them through the game in order to get them to understand it, because the player aid doesn't help in that instance, which is a shame, because the actions of what you're doing are very simple, so it should be able to work. But I still think it's worth the play. I still think if you think this game is cute, you have kids that likes dogs or these sort of like interested in card games, that it's worth it for that. It should be cheap enough, but definitely not for a game group. And definitely, if you purchase this game to play with your kids, understand that you're going to do a lot of hand holding in terms of the player aid and what they're going to be doing.
Yep.
Cool. That is our late to the game review of Clash of Corgis. I'm Zoe.
I'm Mark.
Let us know your thoughts down below. If you think this is a good game to play with your kids, what you guys think, let us know down below. We'll see you guys on the next adventure.